Hi, I'm Lindsay from Shreve Memorial Library, and today we're going to learn to paint and draw The Black Cat by Ernst Ludwig Kirchner. He was a German expressionist, which means that he was in the first generation of artists to paint their feelings into paintings and not go for something more realistic. This is a painting of his cat Bobby. Which is one of my favorite artifacts, I think. I really enjoy that. So we're going to paint Bobby today. All you really need is an eraser, a pencil, and some paper. I'm going to watercolor it after, so I have watercolor paper. I'm also going to ink it, and so I'm going to ink it before I paint it. So I have a waterproof pen. This is called a Micron. There are other brands. If you don't have one of these, that's perfectly fine. You'll just have to go in and erase everything you want erased carefully before you paint it. And you can go and ink with any pen after your painting is completely dry. You may notice at the bottom there is a details rating. This is going to be a level 3. There are 3 levels from 1 to 3. It doesn't mean it's more difficult, it just means there's more detail to it and it's going to take a little bit more time and effort to do. An example of a level 1 is the goldfish that we did by Matisse last week. And here is my cat Ollie. Thank you, Ollie. Anyway, let's get going. One important thing to do, especially in a detail level 3 painting or drawing, is to draw lightly with your pencil, and that's so you can erase it, because we're going to be doing some lines that will end up erased at the end, and you'll have a better time if you have drawn lightly so you're not damaging your paper. The first thing we're going to do here is we're going to figure out where our cat is sitting. Okay, and Mr. Bobby here, let's see, I'm going to draw pretty much the length of his bottom leg. And I'm just going to draw a line over here. I'm looking at my reference. It is, what, here or so? I'm just going to draw a straight line. It goes from about there to about the middle. Make sure you can see it. Yeah, you can. Okay. And there is where his leg is. Now we're going to figure out where his head is. Now, we know, let's see, this goes past the middle. This ear over here, his right ear, the ear on our left, tips about here, and this one is about here. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw where I think this ear is. And I'm drawing lightly so I can erase and do that. Something like that. I'm not going for exact today. Couldn't get exact if I wanted it. Okay, and so I'm going to draw this other line that meets that. And there's his first ear. We'll decide if this is right in a little bit. The other one is at a different angle, and like that, maybe, no, that's too much, like that. You see, I'm drawing scribbly lines. You don't have to do that. Hi, Maurice. But I find doing this really helps me to figure out where stuff is. Draw his head. Doesn't necessarily look exactly right to me, but I'm going to put his head right here. And then we're going to see, yeah, it's actually not too bad yet. I'm going to erase the bottom of this, and we'll see. Okay, next let's draw the back of his head down to his neck. And that comes from about here, just a little bit, and then kind of comes, let's see, that is not a down angle, comparing the angles here. And you can do that with your pencil by looking at your reference and getting that angle and then carefully transferring it down to your page, but I'm not doing that today. But that's one way you can do it and get something more accurate than I might be getting right now. So from here I'm going to draw the front of his face, and it comes like that or so. It comes out pretty well and pretty rounded. That's too much. My cats must know that I'm drawing a cat. That's probably better. Excuse Ollie. Excuse. Okay. I'm gonna say like that, and this comes down like that, and then he has this little jaw right here. It's little though. It's a good boy. And then it comes back up here. Lower. See how inexact this is? Like, don't be going for something perfect. There's no point. This is something to enjoy. That's probably about right. Looks about right. Okay, and I'm going to firm all of this stuff up. Some of it I'm going to do in pencil, but other stuff I'm going to wait until I ink it. And then I'll just erase any extra marks. Okay, there we go. Sometimes it's hard to see around the cat. Okay, here, his forehead, like the colors, I'm gonna draw in the black part versus the purple part. And it kind of comes down like that. Maybe not that much, but it goes here, and then this goes like that. Okay. And then, I'm gonna put his tongue in this little shot of pink right here that I think is really neat. And then have his nose that's like here. And then it comes up kind of straight for a minute, and then it curves over above where his eye is going to be. Ends up down there. This one kind of comes in a little bit, and then it comes up kind of parallel, and it goes like that. If you need to be turning your paper to do this, go to. Nothing wrong with that. Or if you just want to use the traceable, if you don't want to mess with this drawing part, there is a traceable in the description, and you can trace it onto something to paint it, or else you can totally just color it in, because that's fun too. Okay, this comes down like this. It's really close to that. And then kind of does that. And this didn't go quite high enough. There we go. That's better. Yeah, that looks good. I'm going to erase some of these extra lines just so I'm clear on what my lines are. Okay, let's go ahead and draw the eyes. This one. And then this one. Not like that. that. And then that. The one on the left is smaller and a little lower. I think this one's a little bit too big. That's why we draw light, and we can change things later. Okay, so I'm going to draw his pupils first, which are just these cat eye pupils like that. And then he has like the, what is that? Irises around his eyes. Those show too. Okay. Looks reasonably good. See, I'm going to bring this up and do that, and he'll have more of a cat shape face. His face is looking a little round to me, but I guess it is in the painting too, isn't it? Okay. Go up like that. Okay, next up, let's go ahead, draw his neck. It comes from about here. It kind of goes straight for a second, and then it comes out, and he is sticking out his chest. So that comes out a good bit, like that. And it comes down here or so. Okay, I'm going to draw a straight line down here, almost straight. Go and give him a paw. Okay, then we'll worry about that other line later. And then, let's see, we have his other shoulder here, which comes like, let's see, it starts a little higher, right? And then it kind of mirrors that first one. And what I'm paying attention to right here is the width of where this leg is supposed to hit. Say that's about right. Okay. And then this comes down like that. To right. This kind of comes out from about here. So I'm going to do that. And then comes down and hits right below where this one is. I'm going to shorten this like that. See, when I'm not tracing, I am just kind of constantly adjusting things for where everything else goes, and you should expect to do that too. That's why we draw light. Okay. And then this down here, that one just looks like that kind of. Okay. And this comes back up at a little angle like that. Let's see, next up, let's go with his back from right here. It comes out like that, right? And it comes down to his mid-back, where it's past his shoulders, and it comes in a little bit. And then it goes back out and around like that. I'll worry about his tail in a minute. I'm just trying to get his basic shape in. Okay, and then his bottom foot starts about here and it goes along here. and then right there. And then there's his belly. Goes about here, it comes down, and then there's that. And I'm going to worry about this a little bit in a second because we're going to draw it in the sections for the black and purple, like I said before. So his tail comes out about here, right? Not a big angle. And it comes around like this and ends about there. Okay. I'm still not quite happy with this. I like the outer line better. Just adjust as you see fit. Okay. There's our basic cat. Now it's just filling in the different parts where the different colors go. We have some purple on his chest, and that's going to come down from his neck like that. And it kind of follows his chest all the way down to his foot. And there's a little angle here on both of them like that. There we go. There's that one. I'm going to go ahead and draw this in right here so I don't forget it. It goes almost all the way. I'll go ahead and put this line up here for it's purple on this side, black on that side. So up here, this is the bottom of his neck. This comes up and comes around like that, and then kind of slants down and then meets that, and all of this is black. Below that, we have this line that starts about here and follows his back down. So I'm going to draw that. Follows his back down until we hit his tail. Okay. After that, it comes here and it comes in a little bit, and then it comes out and it hits right there. I need to be careful with how dark my lines are getting. Okay. And next we're going to do from right here or so, we have his leg. Okay. So I'm going to come up from here and I'm going to make kind of an oval Easter eggy shape. Looks like an Easter egg to me. And it comes down and hits here. Okay, and it comes in here, and then we're just going to say this meets that about there. Okay, and then this comes down, and we have the back of his leg, and all of this little bit is black. I'm going to erase some of this. Okay. I do believe, let's see, I need to erase this part. See, I'm going to go ahead and draw a little black down the tail. It seems like that's more outline than anything, but I'm going to draw that, and that all stays black. So this ends here, and then the black continues down, and then we have all of this is going, this little area is going to be black. Okay, let's see. That, I believe, is our cat. I don't think that's too shabby. So after the cat, we are going to draw some of the background. I'm going to simplify part of it because the cat was enough. But we're going to draw the main bits, okay? So the first thing, I'm going to start this flower up here right in front of him. This white one, white, light yellow, whatever color. I'm going to draw a circle. I'm going to draw another circle around it. Okay. Now it has this big old stem coming down like that. It has leaves. If you've done a few of these with me, you're well versed in leaves at this point. Okay. And this one comes down in front of that. And there's one up here, and it's big, and it goes like that and meets there, and then this continues down. See why I'm doing it like this? I'm just kind of avoiding having to erase more lines right there. That's the only reason. You can draw your stem and then draw in your leaves after that. I'm avoiding extra lines. So this comes, actually it hits him, and we don't have it hitting him, but we can make it hit him. Okay, it's down like that. And then that. We have another leaf that crosses. Okay. This ends at his foot. And then one more down here. And there is our plant. I want this one to be a little bit bigger. Okay, here's that one. There is another circle one up here by his ear. It's pretty high. I'm gonna draw another circle just like I did before. Oops, that's not a good circle. Okay, I'm drawing inside this time. And then this one has some little leaf things here, so I'm going to draw a couple little leaf things here. And then it has a stem that comes down and runs into Bobby's back. Draw the other side, just a parallel line. Okay. Next up, there on the left, there's a interesting, I don't know what any of these flowers are. There's a flower up here that we're going to do, and it comes, it's like an, let's see, it's about here. It's like really thin oval like that, and then that, that, I don't like this one, it's too small. I know I'm picky. Beauty of pencils. Okay. And then this one has a stem coming down here. Okay. Let's see, there's another one kind of like that over here. I draw a rounder oval here, and then this one kind of goes like zigzags. And then it comes down to a stem. Okay, we have a couple more here, and they're like cones. See, I guess we should decide where our ground is too. It hits about here and it slips down like that, and then it kind of goes right above here, there. Let's see, I'm going to make that level because that's my painting. You do you. Okay. So here we have some of these little coney looking flowers, and I'm going to draw kind of a cone shape, and then just kind of some zigzag petals like that, and a stem down. I'm not taking it all the way to the bottom because we have stuff going on down there too. And then one more over here. This has an extra cone. And the same thing. Okay. And its little stem. I think that's it for flowers. There's some grass in front of it. So let's see, this looks like a good spot. I'll have to erase the rest of it, but that's okay. So we'll do some grass here. And this is just kind of like another leaf shape, but real long, like that. And there's another one coming up here, and it's bent. Comes up like that. Say it's like that, and then it bends, comes to a point, and then comes back down. And there's some other grassy looking stuff up in here. Okay, and it looks like this guy's petals are up in here somewhere. So let's just do more petals like we did over here. It's just there are like 3 of them right here. Okay. Down here, here's an easy part. We are going to add, I don't know what they are, but there are these little oval guys. We are going to, oops, I don't want one that's circlish. And we are going to draw them in too. Okay, just wherever. I'm not even trying to make this part the same as the painting. I'm just kind of drawing them, and some of them I'm going to make blue and some of them I'm going to make green, and that is the extent of my planning on this. Because sometimes over planning stuff for a painting ruins the fun. Okay, so there are my little ovals. And then there's this, it's like the grass comes kind of from here, and then it kind of goes around this stuff, and it comes down a little bit like that, right? And then we have this shadow thing. I don't know what it is. Well, whatever it is, we're going to draw it. So I'm just going to do that, line out, straight edge, back in, straight, line out. They're kind of fanning out, line in, like that, and then it comes down. It kind of goes like that, down, in, down. See, I'm just following this painting, and then this goes kind of over here, and then there's some little grassy bits, and so I'm going to draw some grassy bits. Not paying attention that they're the same or anything, just grassy bits. Good enough. Okay. So let's see, we have most of this done. What I'm going to do is on the right, I'm not going to even try to draw that in. I'm not sure what the situation there is beyond that's plants. So I'm going to do something that makes a little bit more sense in my brain. Hopefully it'll make more sense in yours. So here's what we're going to do. There are these little line things underneath this one. I'm going to draw these little lines of blue, and there are 3 of them, right? And then they come over this thing, and they're blue. 3 of those. Okay. And then I'm just going to put some grass down here because that's interesting enough. But grass. And all of this, the leaf part here, I'm going to erase. So let's do some grass. This is pretty tall grass. It's going to go like that. It's kind of like long zigzags. Draw some in the middle because why not? Doesn't all need to go the same way. Okay, so there's some grass, and then I'm gonna do, there's this shadow, I assume. So out from the grass, you see I'm improvising. Out from the grass comes like this kind of jagged stuff. So I'm gonna draw this kind of jagged line. And there is the best I can do for whatever is in the bottom of that painting for right now. Okay, so next up we have some trees back here, right? So I'm going to draw one, just this line, straightish down. I'm not using a straight edge. Don't worry if yours isn't straight. Mine isn't either. Just don't. Let's see, the flowers will overlap. There's one there. And then there's this one. Let's see. Hits the cat here. So I'm going to do one line here. That, and one line here. Okay, and don't worry if you overlap this stuff right now. You can always erase it. And, okay, we have 2 more. There is one that intersects its head right here. See, that's there. This will come down like that from his face. I mean, really, this is some improvisation from me right here too. Okay, and then we have one more here or so, and it comes down. It's the flower. And then one more. If you draw with your whole arm instead of your wrist, you'll be better at getting straighter lines. Okay? So there are trees. We have stuff behind the trees, like this, up, down, then this slants down here, and that'll give us a nice shot of pink. So I'm going to keep that in. And then down here comes to that bluey green color. There we go. This comes, let's see, starts about here. It's a little lower. Okay, we'll say it starts here, hits that, and comes down like that. Or here, it looks like it's about right here. And then over here we can't see where it is, so we'll assume it's there. And I do believe that is it for the drawing. I'm checking the traceable, and yeah. Okay, here's our drawing. And now what I'm gonna do is ink it. I'm gonna use this waterproof pen, which is it's archival ink, and it says on it it's watercolor. It's pigment ink. I mean, it's watercolor. It's waterproof. that means I can paint over it once the ink is completely dry. If you do not have a pen like this, do not ink it now if you want to watercolor it. If you want to use colored pencils or anything like that, go to. It's just if you're going to use something with water, it will make a pen that is not waterproof run. And the reason I'm going to do it is because the advantage to doing something like this is I can draw all of this in just following these lines, right? And then once this is completely dry, I can just go and erase stuff and I don't have to worry about where the pencil lines actually were. If I don't use this, I have to go in and be sure I erase this where where this leaf is, all of these little bits that need erasing. That's the step that helps, that this pen lets me skip. If you don't have one, it's perfectly fine. Just be sure and erase all of the lines you want erased, because you will not be able to erase them once you've watercolored over them. Also, wait until your painting is 100% completely dry if you want to ink after, or else you'll end up unhappy that way too. So I'm going to ink this and then we'll get to painting. I have inked my painting and erased all of the pencil lines that I saw. I'm sure I'm missing something. And I'm ready to paint. So I'm going to get my paints ready and we'll get started. Okay, let's paint. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint the cat first. He has colors in him that aren't in the rest of the painting. Purple and black. And what I'm going to do is paint the purple, and then I'm going to dry it, wait till it's completely dry, and then I'm going to paint the black, and then I'm going to dry that. So we'll have the majority of the cat out of the way, and don't forget to paint his pupils. I don't have a purple, and so I'm going to mix one. Let's see. It's a bluey purple, right? So I'm going to use probably more blue than red. So I'm going to use pink, I think, since it's bluey. And I have to make a good bit of it. So I'm going to do that. It's going to be a little watered down, but not too much. Get some more. Oops, why did I do that? Okay. Get some blue. Let's see what color we've got. Always test your watercolors. I know I say it all the time, but really, test your watercolors. It's not a bad purple. Okay. I get a little more pink, a little more blue. It's because I want a good bit of it. Okay. Ooh, that's nice. Okay. So, purple, then black. I finished the purple. I realized that I missed a line right here earlier, and I need to continue that line, which is why I just kind of painted that and then left that as it was. One good thing about black is it's darker than purple, and so I'm not worried about that extra bit. But before I paint in the black, I'm going to draw that little line between the parts of the base of his ear. finished my black, and I realized, I don't know if I just painted over them or if I forgot to draw them in the first place, but there are no irises on that eye, but now there are. Okay, so I'm going to dry this completely, and then we'll get to painting the background. Bobby is dry. I think what we're going to do next is we're going to do the bright colors. I also, see, I always forget stuff. There's this little corner of pink down here. I'm just going to do that because the pink is really nice in this painting. So, speaking of pink, let's go ahead and do pink. There will be pink here on these two flowers for the petals and this little corner right here. And yeah, I do have a pink, so I'm gonna use that. If you don't have a pink, just water down your red and then you'll have a pink too. There's our pink. Let's move on to the light yellow green. Now, I'm gonna suggest that to make this green, you add yellow to your green. If you don't have a green, start with yellow and put a little blue in at a time. So I'm gonna get a green. I'm gonna get my sap green. I'm not sure how this is gonna work, but we're gonna find out. There's a sappy green. This is one of my very, very favorite paint colors right here. It's called Green Apatite Genuine, and I just adore it. Let's see. Way too dark. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add some yellow to it. Okay, why did I do that? This yellow, a good bit of it. Add that in. A good bit of water in there. And let's see what that looks like. Very nice. And now I'm going to paint all the stems and like the grasses and everything that is in the painting just about that is this lime green color. I'm going to paint with this color. I'm going to paint some of these, but I'm going to leave some of them to be blue. Got my green done. I just realized I forgot one little bit of pink, so I'm going to paint that, the tongue, and then I'm gonna let the whole thing dry because I know if I don't, I'm gonna get my hand all up in that. Next, before this really dries up, I'm gonna get a little bit of it and add some more yellow to it. I'm just gonna grab that, I'll just put it up here because I only need it for right here. Okay, I'm going to get more yellow. And make this very yellowy green color like that. And then I'm going to go up here, I'm going to paint this part. Let's start, there's so much blue in this. Let's start with that. And get a ton of it because we have a ton to paint. And then I'm going to start with this tree. I'll do this little bit stuff down here. Then we have this tree and that tree and that tree. And then this little stuff up in here. And that's it. But that's a lot. Got all my blues in. Down here, that was supposed to be blue, but obviously I painted it green first. I was like, well, I'll just paint blue over it. It made a nice color, I think. And so I did the same thing a little bit over here, like in in the actual painting just to kind of balance it out some. So there's that. I'm gonna go ahead and do, these are very, very close to white, but there's a little bit of yellow in them, just the tiniest little bit of yellow in them. And so I'm just gonna get some yellow. Ooh, that's a lot of yellow. Water it down a lot. Too bright. Try that. Better. Okay. And then remember, watercolor dries lighter too than it is when you put it on. Also, watch out for the blue when you do this. We've also kind of got an orangey color on some things, these little flower bits. So I'm just going to add a little bit of red to it. I'm going to get this red. Let's see. Woo, that's a lot of red. Let's just dip it in there. There we go. That's what we want. See what that looks like? It's good. I'm going to paint that, and that. I also got some light yellow and painted his eyes, the rest of them. So we have, I believe, 3 colors left. One of them is a tealy blue, and that's going to be the sky. I think that's probably our safest bet to do next. And then this is a bluey green. This is a yellowy, reddy green. These are warm greens. This is a cool green. And then there's this color down here that's a kind of peachy color, and I think I'm gonna just add a little bit of yellow to a light pink to do down here. But so I'll do it like, see, that, and that in that order, because that will give this and this hopefully time to dry by the time I get over here where they touch. And this goes that green color too. So let's do this teal color first. What I'm going to do about that is I'm going to get, you're experienced in this if you did this with me. Yeah. Was that yesterday? Was it last week? We made a teal in one of them recently. That was last week. That was the furniture that the goldfish were on. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get some blue and some green. It's actually pretty good. Okay, I'll go with this color. And now I'm going to water it down a good bit. Now I'm going to paint the sky this color and try not to get my hands in things. There is our sky. Now I'm going to paint down here. For this, I'm going to get some pink and water it down a lot. And I'm going to add a little bit of yellow into it, and we'll see what it looks like. No guarantees. Okay, there's my color. This is like 99% water, it seems like, and so I'm like, yeah, but that's okay. So I'm gonna paint this whole bit. Oh, I forgot a little bit of black, but I need to fix that anyway, so that's okay. I'm gonna paint this whole shebang up through here, all this color. And remember, it's a pink. You can use extra watered down red. It's pink and a little bit of yellow in it, and that's all it is. Now I have to wait for all of this to dry, and then I'm going to make a green for this area and paint those little tiny bits of black, and then we are done. See, to make this green, I'm gonna make sure I painted all the ground that needed to be painted yet. I'm gonna sop this up, and the reason I'm just doing this so I don't have to use another palette, but also it's an unpleasant color. So, because it's A, diluted, and B, still wet. So, and I wash these. They stain, so don't do this with, you know, something that, like an actual dish towel you use for anything other than painting. But I use these with like watercolors and water-soluble paint like gouache. And just, that's what this is for. This is a cheap rag for painting, so I don't have to use a bunch of paper towels. Okay, so we are going to mix a green for this. Now, we need a cool green. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go with my cooler green right here. And I am going to mix some of our blue into it. And that's how we're going to do this one. Okay. So I'm happy enough with that. Hopefully that will last. That green doesn't like to give a bunch of paint away. So I'm going to paint all of this, including this, everything but this and that pupil I need to fix. With that, all we have left is to sign it. This was kind of a marathon, wasn't it? I'm just we'll sign in this black Payne's gray color. I'm just gonna put it right down in here. You can sign wherever you want. Okay, there is my signature. Now, let's see, it's pretty dry. The main thing is this eye right there where I just put in black and then got it on my hand. But I think it is probably okay to pull up the tape, which is always fun. Now, if you used tape to tape your painting down, be sure and pull it up slowly and carefully, because you will be tremendously unhappy if it rips your paper. And if you pull it up fast, there's a good chance it will. If you have a hard time pulling it up, even though you're doing it slowly and carefully, you can warm it up with like a hair dryer or something, and that'll help get it off. But I'm not having a problem with that. My main challenge seems to be not getting my hands in things today. And one more. Ooh, this looks nice. I really like this one. This one turned out nice. It'll look nicer once that's dry. Okay, here is our painting of the black cat. And here's my cat just on cue. I hope you had a good time. I hope you painted with me. Do not drink my water, please. If you did, please share a picture of what you made with the library social media. We would love to see it and love to share it. I hope you painted along, and I hope you had an excellent time. I certainly did. And I will see you next week at Art Club at Home. Bye!